Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel if you're new. I am Sakura Bro. It is nice to see you guys again for another video. This is gonna be episode 2 for my sharing my paranormal experiences. And this one actually happened a lot more recently than the last one. But this is very similar also kind of to the last one, but also not that similar. But if you follow my main TikTok page, you probably have already know what this episode is about. The only difference is that there's gonna be a lot more details in this and everything, so it will make more sense in this video than it did on the TikTok video. Mind you, I only have 3 minutes and it's hard for me to like fully get like the whole story out without getting like cut off at the end and having to literally put the little wording at the top for people to read, or they have to read like the description or caption or whatever the fuck. So yeah, also don't mind my hair. I know it looks frizzy and stuff like that. I took a shower earlier today, and considering it is hot out today and there's humidity, that's what happens to my hair. So yeah, but before we get into the video, I would love to say happy birthday, Alex. It's sad that we couldn't be with you on your birthday, obviously, because Mom's at work, and yeah, and I'm also sitting here recording this video. So yeah, I know you already said happy birthday, but still have a good birthday and everything, and I'll also get working on your card after this. So yeah. And I know that you don't like the paranormal stuff, but obviously you'll watch this video. Or not, I don't know. I just felt like saying happy birthday to you again, because I sent it to you at midnight and then I basically passed out. Yeah, I waited that long just to say happy birthday, because usually just to be the first person to say happy birthday to someone is literally like the greatest thing ever. So saying it on midnight before their actual birthday, or saying at the time of their exact birth, that's also a good way to say happy birthday, because it means more, honestly. But it's not like everyone's gonna know what time you're born anyways. Unless like you're a family member. Okay, so let's get into the video. So yeah, have a good day, Alex. Have a good day, Alex. Speaking of you, Alex, you actually play a part in today's video without even being here. So does Brianna. And yeah. So, for background on this, I'm also drinking root beer. I love root beer so much, and sadly there's no caffeine in this either. So yeah, you're gonna see me drinking root beer. I preferably like the mug root beer versus this one, but this one isn't bad. I technically like all root beers or birch beers for soda. So yeah, anyways, so my sister's boyfriend's family moved recently last year, technically last year, to a new house in a different location of the state that they're already living in. And so this house was built in the 1940s by carpenters, and considering my grandfather was a carpenter, it's kind of ironic how they got stuck with that house. Also, it's a beautiful house. If you followed my other social media, you probably have seen the house anyways, or at least like sides of the house. And so Alex, who is my sister's boyfriend, who I see as a big brother figure, and that's why I said happy birthday to him at the beginning of this. They live on the studio apartment that's above the garage, and I love how like it's a 1940s house, but most older houses usually don't have something like that. So it's just really cool that they got stuck with like their own place, but still being like close to their family and everything. So it's cool. Also, there is a pet cemetery from the older owners, not from the original owners, because there is multiple changes with the owners since the house was built. And so that's basically a little bit of background from there. But there's a lot of people who live in that house, and it's a huge house, multiple rooms, and it's obviously an old house. But the living room kind of reminds me of the living room that we have in our house, but except theirs is bigger. But it's just like the styling of similar to ours, but except our house was built in the 50s while theirs was built in the 40s. And so we went later in the day than we usually do, because most of the time if my sister has a day off, we go all day, or if Alex's day off, we go all day, and we spend the whole day with them. And they live like an hour away from me, so it's like a long time to get there and back a lot of the time, but it's worth it, you know, to visit people you care about. And so we went around like 5 because my sister was working that day, so this was like a Thursday, I believe. So this was, again, this was recent, so this was like the ending of August to September, because we haven't really been to her house again since that trip. So we pick her up. I said hi to Alex, and then I also talked to Alex's little sister. And so we were just conversing before we left with my sister, and my sister she was still getting ready and stuff like that. So like I was talking with her, I said hi to Alex, and then Alex waved hi, and then he went back into the apartment. And then because he also had to help with the dog, because my sister just brought Nyla back into the house. They have a dog. It's a girl. Her name is Nyla. She's the cutest thing ever. And so they went back in the house, and then I was just sitting there talking with his little sister, and then she showed me Ghostbusters shirt that her sister got her, and it had the classic station wagon from the Ghostbusters movies. And she was so happy to show that to me, considering she knows that I like classic cars. I'm wearing a classic car shirt right now. And it was just nice to see her interest, but I also asked her if she actually liked Ghostbusters, but she's also into the paranormal too, and she's into like energies and stuff like that, like similar to the stuff that I'm interested in, but she thinks of it in a different way, which makes sense because not everybody thinks the same. So we were just talking, and then once my sister's ready, she gets in the car, I get in the car, and then it starts sprinkling as we're driving away. We went to Payless because she needs shoes. So we went shoe shopping with her, trying to figure out what shoes she needed. She picked out her new shoes, and I saw the hiking shoes, and then I was like, well, we kind of need this in the future, so I'll probably be able to get them myself anyways later on. But like a lot of Paylesses are closing down, even though this is not the point. So that kind of sucks. But also they're a lot more pricey than they used to be, which makes sense because of 1, inflation, 2, because they have to make money before they close all their stores down. There's not many Paylesses in Massachusetts, and there used to be like a couple of them in the 2000s, and then now they're closed down. And then so we were done with her getting the shoes. She only got 1 pair, and then we went to Target. Also, the Target that we went to, there was no Starbucks, so we couldn't get like coffee if we wanted to. So that was kind of ironic, even though I'm technically more of a Dunkin' person anyways. But if I can get caffeine anywhere, I wouldn't care. I would just drink it. So we got like groceries and all that stuff, and then once we were finished, again, we packed up the car and then left. So we pulled the Mercury back into the driveway of the house and apartment on the garage. And so we just sitting there, so we were sitting there, and the 3 of us were literally just having a full-on conversation in the car before my sister had to get out and put the stuff away into the apartment. And before we had to leave, because it was dark out, so there was no way we were staying, because again, it's an hour there and it's an hour back. So no. And also it gets pretty dark in that area because it's like the countryside, kind of. Well, we take the back roads there and back. So yeah, it is dark and it's usually through the countryside. So yeah, and then I see Alex's younger brother pop out of the house, and he is 6 foot tall, and I've known him since like I was in middle school, like 7th grade. I've known Alex longer than him, only because I met Alex before I met him. But he's younger than me, but we're the same age, so we're both 20, but he's still younger than me by like a couple months, a year and a couple months, because I was born at like the end of 2001, and yet I'm the small one. I'm older yet, but I'm the tiny one. I'm the tiny one. And then I thought I saw his younger sister walking behind him, because it was a girl around either my height or her height, and she's 11, but she's taller than me. She's around like 5 something, and I'm 4'11". But I thought it was her only because one, she was hella short compared to her older brother, and 2, she had red hair. But for some odd reason, she looked like she was straight up glowing, and it wasn't like the same color of how she looked. It was like coming from her exactly, like it wasn't around her like an aura. Like, example, as I said in the first episode when I was talking about when I saw my grandfather spirit, he was glowing similar, but it wasn't the same, because he wasn't the same. He wasn't like look like, it's hard to explain. Like, he did not look the same as she did. He looked like an actual person, but he wasn't touching the floor. He was actually floating. He was like levitating. And then also he had a green color to him. And then also it was like an aura around him that was also green. But the difference with this is that she literally looked like there's either light shining on her, or she was like producing light off of her, if that makes sense. But she literally did look more human-like than my grandfather did, only because she wasn't like a whole color. Like, she looked more human, if that makes sense. Like, she looked more like an actual person, only because she wasn't green, but like you could like see that she looked normal, is what I'm trying to say. Again, it's hard to explain basically, because I was the only one who saw this, so it's hard to explain it in a good way without sounding like a crazy person. And then, so she was walking closely behind Alex's little brother, her older brother, if that was the person who I thought it was. She wasn't just walking behind him closely, like she was basically like skipping, like how like kids do and everything. And then she followed him straight up to the door of the apartment of Brianna and Alex. And they, cause he just wanted to talk with Alex, so that's why he went over there and he knocked on the door. And I was just watching him just do that, because like I don't know why, I just felt like, because there was nothing interesting going on for me to literally look at, so I was literally like, alright. But I never really noticed where the girl went. She basically like disappeared, but I didn't notice her disappear, if that makes sense. And then when he was done conversing with the door, or he finally got contact with Alex, I don't really remember that part much. He came over to the Merc. We opened the window, even though like it was basically still kind of lightly raining at this point. So he leaned in and he started talking to us, and then I asked him if his sister was walking with him, or I asked who was walking with you. I saw someone walking right behind you, and he's like, what are you talking about? There's nobody there. And then my sister, Brianna, was literally like, there's no one there. What are you talking about? I'm like, and then my mom also said, are you sure? Because there was no one there either. And I was like, 3 distinct people told me that they didn't see that person. And I'm like, really? I straight up full on saw a full person around my height, or his little sister's height, walk around in their backyard, and came out of the house with him when he walked out of the house, and then straight up just disappeared because I couldn't see wherever she was. And it's their backyard. There's really nowhere for you to hide unless you were trying to walk into someone else's yard, because there's like tree outlines from like for the perimeter. It's not, there's no like trees or anything, but they have like a playscape and a trampoline in the backyard too, but the trampoline is more off to the side. And then also there's nowhere to hide in the playscape because it's not like the wood ones, the little house thing ones. It wasn't that one, because they have like the metal one similar to the one that I had, or me and Brianna had as a kid, which they had the plastic slide, but it was mostly like metal and plastic. It wasn't like, you can't really hide with that because people would see you. People would see you. So yeah, it was really weird. So I basically dropped it because I wasn't going to argue with them, because I straight up saw it and they didn't. And it was just crazy. And then my sister got up, left, and then also she left out of the car, but her and Alex's little brother stayed on in the driveway waving us off, and then I waved them off, and then I basically didn't even bring it back up with my mom until like later, until we like got home and stuff like that. And I thought that was the weirdest crap ever. But this is literally like the second time in my life I was able to straight up see a dead person without it being like a shadow or something from the corner of your eye, or again just movement or orbs or anything like etc. That's like the second time I've actually saw an actual like ghost or apparition or whatever that was fully clear but still had a lot of light to it. Because every time when you do see a ghost or something, I probably explained this in the last episode, but I'm gonna explain it again, considering most of you probably haven't seen that one. So when it doesn't look anything what people like animate for like ghosts in like movies or television or anything, or even if they have to like make it on YouTube, unless they catch it without like, I mean like the people with like the fake stuff is what I'm saying, like not anything that's real, because you can still somewhat catch them on, it is possible to catch them in photos, it is possible to catch them while recording, but when you see it with your eyes, it's not the same as how you see it through the camera, because for the camera you see things farther away versus when you're looking at something you see it closer up, if that makes sense. But also the light from the actual ghost or spirit is more visible to your eye than it is to the camera, but it also technically depends. I never caught anything like that on camera before, but I have seen it with my own eyes, and it's even crazier when you see it yourself. And also, a lot of people who are subbed to me don't believe in ghosts, yet they still watch my paranormal videos. That's fine if you don't believe in it, but if you're watching it for entertainment, I'm glad you enjoy it entertainment wise, but I'm not making stuff up for my experiences, because there's no way I could like explain most of that. And also I I do think that their house is haunted, considering how the little sister that I was talking about before, that I was talking to as well, she has experienced some weird stuff in the house. She's seen like ghost animals, like ghost cats or stuff like that. As I said before, there is a pet cemetery in their yard, but they keep it there considering because there's pets buried there. It's not like they can do anything about it anyways. Plus, the people who owned it before basically left their pets there anyways. So, yeah. And there's also other stuff that she's experienced, but I'm not going to say that here because that's her own experiences, and maybe I'll film a video with her and she'll tell you about it, because it's not my place to say someone else's experiences unless it's Brianna's or family members' experiences. If they want to share their paranormal experience, they can, and I'll do a video if that's what you guys want for the future. But it's really cool to share experiences like this in general, because not everyone is able to see or experience stuff like that. You'd have to be like more spiritually open and everything, or have your third eye open more. But most people who have like ADD or ADHD or some form of like brain disorder or mental health issues are usually more open to stuff like that. And if you don't believe that, you guys can look that up, but it actually does state stuff like that. And even for the natives, it was also stated that people with schizophrenia could experience a lot of paranormal stuff as well, and that is also like a mental illness, and that's also like a brain disorder as well. Just for example, not just saying like ADD or ADHD. So it's really cool to have that. I've also seen or interacted with people who have passed through my dreams as well. And it also helps that I basically sleep next to my angel light at night. So that's why I'm able to dream more often, and having to have like vibrant dreams or communicate with people who have passed through my dreams. So this is safe to sleep with and also put under your pillow. I've also heard that turquoise is also a medium like stone, but do not sleep with it. It's not safe to sleep with it because it will mess up your sleep. And there's other bad things that it'll do if you try to like sleep with it under your pillow or something. So it's better to go with like the angel light. You can get it at like Inspired Crystals in Northampton or Midnight Odyssey at the Enfield Mall, which is not in Enfield. So yeah, so that was my recent paranormal experience. If you don't believe in that, if you don't believe in the paranormal, that's fine. That's you. But just know a lot of people do believe in it, and there is some proof of life after death as well. It's just, and plus, again, not everyone's able to experience the same things as other people are, and that's what I want people to literally still be in mind of. But if you are curious on how to open your third eye, you can do it through meditation, but don't go straight to your third eye. You have to open all the chakras up in your body before you can get to your third eye, which is in the middle here, either here or it's like in the middle of your forehead somewhere. So, God. So yeah, so I hope that this made a lot more sense than the episode I did on TikTok, because I also do the series on TikTok as well. I also do a lot of other content, so you guys can go check those out, because I do like exploring and traveling and stuff like that, so I do that as well. Mostly I like to travel in Massachusetts because there's a lot in Massachusetts to see and explore, and I also do Connecticut as well, considering how Connecticut is actually really close. Excuse me. And I've also been to other places, but I never really covered it for like YouTube yet, so yeah. Also, before we end the video, again, happy birthday to Alex again. And happy birthday to anybody else who has the birthday, who has who has a birthday today. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And also, if you do like my content on my YouTube channel, the link, the user names to my other platforms are in the description. Also, I'll be having a poll out for what video you guys would want next. That is not an expiration because we already did the expiration for this month. For the next video in my Instagram story. So please, if you have time, please fill it out, because the more people who fill it out, it helps me more with the plan ahead of time. So the choices would be another actor or actress for the Golden Years of Hollywood series, the life of them, and I'll have to do research for them. I already have another haunted history video in mind, and that one is gonna be a surprise up until it goes up. And then the third option would be another like food review from anywhere, not just like Dunks or anything. If you guys want me to try like something different for a type of food at like a restaurant or whatever, that's another option. Food or drink for trying. And if you suggest Red Bull, I'm not doing it because I already said that a while ago, so no. But yeah, again, if you do have time to fill that out, please do it, because it does help me out a lot, and I do appreciate everyone who fills it out and everything. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video, whatever that video will be. Remember to stay classic, and remember to stay strong, my warriors, and we'll continue our journeys together, regardless if it's paranormal explorations or sharing life experiences, not just paranormal experiences, but life experiences, or doing fun vlogs, food reviews, just going through life together and trying to make life better for each other. The journey does not end here, it continues, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.